Clayton, you've been at the football club for a fair amount of time now. We thought it'd be a perfect time to catch up with you, see how things are getting on for yourself. So, how have you settled in so far?
Yeah, cheers. I think I've settled in pretty well. I've got a place, car. Settled in nicely, and yeah, so it's good to be over here and good to be going.
What about with the lads, the coaching staff, really feeling part of the team, getting on with everybody well?
Yeah. It's a good culture, and it helps that they all speak the same language. So yeah, it's certainly been easy to integrate myself.
And what about England in general? Obviously, a big move from yourself to come over from Australia, all that way away, sort of leaving family over there. But how's it been in England in general?
Yeah, no, it's been quite good. The weather's been pretty nice. Maybe a touch hot, but I've been told I can't complain about that. Come a few months, but yeah, it's been really good. Not too different to what I'm used to. I don't think everything's pretty similar, so it's been nice.
What about the accent here in Barnsley as well? You obviously come with your own accent of your own over from Australia, of course. But how have you found dealing with the Barnsley accent?
Yeah, there's varying levels of the English accent. I've figured out. Some are a bit thicker than others, and sometimes I struggle to understand a bit, and just nod your head and and agree. But yeah, I'm managing.
Have you had a chance to visit many places at all while you've been over? I imagine you'd not been to England before, potentially, before coming over. I'm not too sure, but I know it's been a tough pre-season. Might have been difficult to sort of find the free time, but have you had a chance to visit anywhere?
Yeah, well, we haven't got too many days off. Short, tough pre-season, so we're always training. But I've had a look around Barnsley, been to Leeds, and went up to York the other weekend as well. So I had a little bit of a look around it, and everything seems quite nice. Good place. I'm impressed.
And just while we're on that, what about pre-season? How's it been? We've heard from many of the lads that it's been tough, a lot of double sessions and all things like that. How have you found adjusting to that?
Yeah, very, very tough. It's certainly a big step up for the body. Especially with how the gaffer's philosophy and the intensity that he wants us to play and train at. It's certainly taken its toll on the body, but it'll be all for the best come the end of the season when we're fitter and faster than all the other teams.
It's obviously been frustrating for yourself picking up that injury as well that's kept you out over the last few weeks. How is that? I believe you're back in training now. I understand. So feeling much better.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Nothing that a football player wants is to get an injury, but it happens, and all you can do is focus on doing your rehab, getting back out there, and that's what I've done. And as you said, I'm back training, and hopefully be able to make an impact on the pitch soon.
How's that recovery gone? Working with the physio staff, everything gone okay?
Yeah, everything's gone well. Like I said, it's something that every footballer's got to do. You get used to it. Working in the gym and focusing on preventing and rehabbing injuries, and yeah, that's what I've done.
Obviously, like we mentioned, you've had the big move coming over from Australia. Have you had much contact with family back home? Maybe surrounding the injury. Obviously, like we said, the frustrating start. Much contact at home. With home at all? Sorry, are they planning to come over and show some support?
Yeah, I've tried to stay in contact with friends and family back home. Obviously it's a little bit difficult with the time difference. I'm asleep when they're awake, and they're asleep when I'm awake. But there's little periods of the day where you can fit in a quick call, quick message, and stay in touch. And yeah, I think they're planning on coming over soon. My family are excited to see me play.
And obviously, you've only been able to watch the last couple of games, unfortunately, which will soon change. But having sat in the stands and sort of had your first taste of English football live in the flesh and watching it, what have you made of it so far?
Yeah, it's exciting. The fans get right behind it. There's been a pretty good atmosphere on the weekend for the first game, and it's really exciting as a player to see the community so behind the team and pushing for their team to win. And yeah.
Yeah, that was your first real taste of Barnsley fans at the weekend, wasn't it? Obviously not the result that we wanted, but pretty impressed with what you saw and what you heard from the stands.
Yeah, it was unreal support, I think, and it certainly helps as a player when you've got that, the fans pushing you from the sidelines, especially at home. It gives you that good edge.
Is there any main differences between the games sort of back home in Australia to here? Have you noticed anything so far, whether it be day to day or match days?
It's pretty similar. I'd say the main difference is probably the lack of other competing sports. You know, in Oz you got a few other sports taking the spotlight sometimes, AFL, league, and then obviously you got football as well. But over here, it's everything's around football. You know, when Barnsley are coming, you know, the whole town's talking about it. You know, everyone's coming to the game, and you know, it's really good to see, and it's good to be part of that.
I wanted to ask you about that actually, because it's probably not the most popular sport in Australia, is it? Football, I imagine. So, what was your influence in sort of getting involved with the sport at such a young age and pursuing that as your career?
Yeah, well, when I was growing up, I played quite a few different sports. You know, I played Aussie rules quite a bit, you know, till I was probably about 14-ish, as well as obviously playing football. And, you know, I'd say that definitely helped me as a child, just playing lots of sports and, you know, being in Australia, having all those sports available to you. But yeah, it's certainly a good helps you develop as a child, you know, develop those skills. You know, I've probably taken some of them over into my football, but yeah.
Might not be the most popular, but there's certainly been some iconic Aussie players over the years. Is there any in particular that you sort of idolised growing up?
Yeah, you know, there's certainly been a few legends of the game. You know, I'm not too old. There was a golden generation probably about 20 years ago, which was I was a bit too young to be to be watching them back then. But there's certainly been some iconic names. You know, Tim Cahill, Aaron Moy, over the last 10 or so years that have made a huge impact, and I think that's definitely helped grow the game in Australia. You know, you're remembering the World Cups, the Asian Cup we won about 10 years back. You know, it's certainly been huge for the game, and you see it growing still at the moment every day and back in Oz.
Well, it's great to chat to you, Clayton. Just finally, hopefully we'll see you out on the pitch soon in a Barnsley shirt. Just remind the Reds fans of what they can expect from yourself as a footballer.
Yeah, I'll be making to look an impact, score goals, create goals, excite the fans, you know, play, have fun, win games.
Well, we absolutely can't wait to see it, and we wish you all the best out there when you make your debut.
Thank you.